So I've been doing some sniffing around, some recon if you will, and this is what I've discovered. This is Tap Heroes. It's a clicker game by GTP, who you may have seen I've done a My 2 Cents for previously with the game Plantera. Unlike Plantera, Tap Heroes is more of a storybook adventure game in the fantasy genre. Just like Plantera, there's a sparse set of options here, and the soundtrack is also quite small. I would guess probably 3 or 4 tracks, just like Plantera. Also, you need to keep in mind that this game is mouse and keyboard only, but being that it's a clicker, that would make sense now, wouldn't it? Being that there are very few options, and it's mouse and keyboard only, one of the really great things about Tap Heroes is that there's basically a tooltip for everything. Everything you place your mouse, you hover your mouse over, you're going to see a tooltip for that will clearly explain what that feature does. Unfortunately, one thing that doesn't have a tooltip is when you hit save on the options menu, you'll actually save your game exactly where you are. If you just let the game auto-save, it won't save your progress within that level. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're ever worried about getting lost in this game, remember that everything in this game is tracked. And using the achievements and your stats is a very good way to figure out where you are in the game. A lot of the clicker genre is just, jumping in, playing for a little bit, and leaving. And that doesn't always, remind you about where you are and how far you have to go. This game is great about that. Excellent. You always know exactly where you are based on your achievements and stats in the game and how much further you have to go to get to the end. If there is an end. I don't know. I've not reached it yet. Now, I keep telling you this is a clicker, but what does that actually mean? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory in the name, clicker, but you click on the screen to make things happen. While you can have your heroes attack by themselves, they'll still go through their regular actions. It'll just be real slow and real weak, so you're probably going to have to jump in and help them out at some point. One thing that's cool about this game is that your hero team counts as one character, so it's not like you have to heal each of them separately. If you click on the left side of the map, you'll heal your team. If you click on the right side of the map, here you see I'm fighting a boss. If you click on the right side, you'll be damaging your enemy. However, one thing you do have to remember is that clicking does not stun your enemies, meaning they'll still go through their regular actions while you're slapping them in the face with your pointer. The way that Tap Heroes functions is that every level that you get to has 10 enemies to fight, and then every couple levels you'll fight a boss, and man does this game have bosses. After you beat the 10th stage boss, which is kind of like the end of the tutorial, the difficulty just ramps right up. On the bright side though, if you can defeat a boss, you're going to get a blue star, which you can see up at the top left. But we'll come back to getting blue stars. And if you're just starting the game out, instead of a blue star, you get the mage and the rogue to join your party. But before we jump into our party's abilities, why don't we look at our abilities as the clicker, the hand of God, if you will. We have 3 stats that can be upgraded. Attack, heal, and crit. Attack obviously raises your attack strength. Heal raises your heal strength for healing your party, and crit ups the % chance that you're going to do crit damage, which is basically like double damage. You'll also notice that there are 6 things around my 3 stats, and those are the clicker powers. They each cost 3 blue stars, and then after that they have a cast time, and they have a cooldown time. Your 6 powers are Hand of God, which does double damage taps. It lasts for 30 seconds, and its cooldown is 15 minutes. Then there's Gold Rush. Doubles the gold drop for 60 seconds, and the cooldown on it is 30 minutes. Third is the Great Tide. It's instant. You'll have seen me use it a couple seconds ago, and the cooldown on it is 25 minutes long. Then we have Battle Cry, Warrior double damage for 30 seconds, cooldown of 15 minutes. Healing Light, Mage has double healing for 30 seconds, and that's 15 minutes cooldown as well. And the last special power, is Arrow to the Knee, and it's for the Rogue, 2 times effect chance for his abilities. And it lasts 30 seconds, and the cooldown is 15 minutes long. When it comes to our great and valiant heroes, you've got the Warrior, the Mage, and the Rogue. And they all have their own stats that need to be upgraded. In the case of the warrior, you've got attack, which is his attack damage, his speed, how often he attacks, health, which counts for the entire party, and crit damage. Same as you, double damage. Next up, we've got the mage. His abilities are power, speed, and will. Power is how much his heal is for, speed is how quickly he heals, and will is the chance that he will do double damage. It's basically his version of the crit. Last but not least, we come to the rogue, and the rogue's powers are stun, speed, poison, potency. Stun is how long the enemies are stunned, speed is how fast, potency is the frequency at which your status effects occur, and poison is how much damage you deal with poison damage. All of these abilities are upgraded with gold. Speaking of upgrades, how will you know when it's time to upgrade a character? Or move on to the next stage? That's easy. Just look for the yellow exclamation points. If one of them's popping up, it means it's time to move on. While you do make gold for every enemy that you defeat, there are other ways to get gold too. Every once in a while you're actively playing in a level, a chest will appear, and there's two different kinds of chests. The first one is the gold chest, and if you click on it a bunch, it just explodes into gold coins, which is excellent. The second type of chest that could possibly appear is the blue star chest. And those are super rare, but if they do pop open, you're going to get one blue star. I originally thought that you could only get chests to pop up while you were in the middle of a level that you'd not beaten before, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sometimes, if you're just actively clicking on some enemies, you might get lucky and they'll pop up even if you've already done a stage, because you can go back and forth between any of the stages at any time you wish. It's a great way to make gold back that's quick. If you want to go back and finish off a stage that you know you can beat the enemies now in 1 or 2 clicks, turn on Gold Rush and then bam, get rid of them. One of the best features by far is that your heroes will grab money for you while you're away. And unlike Plantera, it's unlimited. The longer you stay away, the more money you come back to. Besides buying your powers, there are other uses for your blue stars. You can use the gem altar in the top right corner to pay blue stars to get upgrades instead of gold. You can use the extra shop, or you can pay 5 stars to permanently 25% increase one of your character's stats. Doesn't work on you as the Hand of God though, unfortunately. And I don't mean the power, I mean you as the actual clicker. Like all clickers, Tap Heroes is grindy. There's no change about that. But it's great as a genre because you can just jump in, do what you need to do, and jump out. Great in short bursts. I don't really expect anyone to be seriously jumping into, especially a whole bunch of clickers at once. It's a great genre just to jump into, jump out of. The clicker genre as a whole is an excellent example of that. Tap Heroes is pretty good by itself as well. Also, you can cheat in most clickers if you use a mouse that